Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode, well, I should say another series of Skyrim AE, technically. This would be episode 1 of a new character, which I've talked about before in the previous videos, which if you don't know who this is, then you might as well go back and watch the other ones, because, you know, then I don't even know why you're clicking on it. Well, I guess if you're new to the channel or something, like if you just clicked on it because this is the first video of mine you've even seen recommended to you, then, you know, I can understand. Please forgive the poor editing in the beginning part of this. I was trying to get into a rush because I was just trying to put it all together really fast, but, you know, I just thought I'd mention that. But this is a new character. I had a whole other character playthrough. Oh yeah, and as you can see here, I tried doing that speedrunner thing because I was trying to be really quick about it, but failed miserably, so I just continued on. But this character is the Dwarven Empress build thing. She's going to be using a lot of the Dwarven Creation Club things and all of that stuff. I skipped over a lot of the beginning part of Helgen because I was like, hey, you know, whatever, it's no big deal. I don't even really care. You know, to show it all at least, because it's kind of repetitive. It's the same old stuff over and over and over. So I skipped it all because, like I said, I was trying to, in this one, before I mentioned in this playthrough, I decided I was going to have a lot less bullcrap happen, and I was just going to get straight to the point. Like, right away, I started to head off to the stones, and I got the... Oh yeah, it took me a minute to decide because I didn't know if I should go the Warrior Stone or the Mage Stone, but I figured the magic would take a bit longer to, you know, level up because it's one of those things, but, you know, I decided to go with that instead. Meanwhile, the other stuff was pretty easy to, you know, figure out. But I did go through this cave real quick just to get some more experience, which I do that sometimes where I'll kind of like go off and, you know, like a certain cave or somewhere just for some extra experience points and other stuff like that. But anyways, besides all that, this character, like I said, is the Dwarven Empress build, and this build mainly goes off of the whole Dwarven aesthetic, using like all of the Dwemer equipment you could get with not only the Creation Club stuff, but also the other cool things. Which, speaking of, this character's build, I think I'm just going to talk about that now too. The build actually consists of using Sunder and Keening, and, you know, of course, Wraithguard and stuff like that for a large portion of it. Unless you guys don't have that, like if anyone's seeing this like video as a build video or like a build guide or just some idea to have a good playthrough for the Anniversary Edition, I suggest actually getting the fishing line and lure or whatever, the fishing update basically, and with that, there's probably a video you can look up on it. I don't know how to do it specifically, but I saw a video not that long ago of being able to get these really cool looking like Dwarven axes that are kind of in like a crescent shape or something like that. They look really cool, and they're Dwarven, of course, because you can learn how to craft them eventually if you know Dwarven stuff. And I figured with the update, with the Anniversary Edition of Skyrim, if you don't have the Anniversary Edition, I think you got the fishing for free, I'm pretty sure, as just a free update. And you can, you know, you can, apparently it's tied to like some sort of fishing quest you can do. I don't know what it is, but I know you have to go fishing somewhere, and then this chest pops out, and then you're able to get these 2 cool looking weapons. So if you not only don't have the Ghosts of the Tribunal DLC, because eventually way later on, she'll end up using True Flame and Hopefire. But if you guys don't end up having those ones, then just go ahead and go look up a tutorial on how to get, I don't know what video it would be, like, you know, all unique items you can get from the fishing line, quest line, because apparently you can get some pretty cool things, like some pretty cool rings and stuff like that. And since all this stuff is Creation Club, you don't necessarily have to have any other mods installed So technically, if you did want to go the extra mile to kind of replicate this build 1-to-1, just go ahead and download some of the Dwemer style Creation Club stuff. I do have Anniversary Edition, so I have all of the Creation Clubs, but, you know, I don't use a lot of them. So, yeah, that's so far just uses like the Dwemer plate stuff, Sunder, Keening, and then way later on, if I ever decided to, use Hopefire and, True Flame. So just to recap on what's going on the screen, I decided to go to Dawnstar to do that, like, vendor loop trick there with the Khajiits and whatnot, just so I could get a lot of enchanting and smithing materials and whatnot. And I decided to cut a lot of it out because it took me like a good 10-15 minutes to get all the stuff. So after that, though, just didn't want to say too much. I got a bunch of stuff to disenchant. I went to disenchant it, and I did go back to get the Warrior Stone because that was a lot more useful to me at the point, because I think I was gonna try and do some of the smithing stuff, but then I figured, oh wait, I should probably wait to do that for the Dwarven things, which you'll see me here in a little bit. I was, enchanting this stuff because I did need to go get the other Dwemer, pieces of armor from the Creation Club. So I was kind of preparing myself because I didn't want to have like another Zemnis mishap where I had Daedric armor, so I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. So then I'd go and like fail a million times on the whole thing. Anyways, continuing on, I did kind of start the questline to get the Dragonstone, just so that way I didn't have the, every time I go into the Dragon's Reach, being chased down by, what's her name? Irileth. So my next move was to go to Markarth, so I can start the Dwemer Plate Armor quest, so you can get it, so I can smith it. And the Dwemer Plate Armor is how to start the quest is you go to Markarth in the bar here, and you read this note. Then there's just this note, and also to get I think you can also come here to get the Spellweaver stuff, which I don't know. I figured that's something pretty cool, but anyways, I activated the quest and I went on. I went outside, and of course I ended up getting that note, which I found super annoying, but it's no big deal. Luckily, the quest didn't actually have me go that far, so I decided to just trek up the mountains over to this, waypoint from Markarth, which, and honestly, wasn't too far, and I cut a lot of it out, literally from point A to point B, because there was absolutely nothing to do. Like, I got outside the city, and I just walked. I didn't come across anything, nothing interesting happened, so there's that. But as you can see, the spell that I have is actually the Elemental Bolt thing, and basically it's added from the mage. There's like some sort of magic Creation Club, I forget what it is, but it adds the new robes and the new, like, just wide varieties of spells. Not the Necromancer's Grimoire, but it was a different one. I forget what it is, but it adds this spell, which I think later on actually does get affected by all 3 of the spells. So if you were to level up, like, in your destruction, of course, and you were to put the points into not only the lightning, frost, and fire perks, but they would also get the benefits of all of them and like boost up their damage. So that's something that I found was pretty cool. I don't know why, but for some reason when I got here I was looting some stuff and it took me a minute to grab the stuff, but I grabbed the I cut it out because it was kind of boring, so I was sitting there, I read a book or something. But anyways, so yeah, at this point I was like, okay, well, now that I've got the set of armor, I think I was just like, I think I'm pretty good now. I wanted to go get I wanted to go to, I think it was Windhelm, or no. Yeah, it was Windhelm. I wanted to go to Windhelm to go and get, to go start the Lost Legends quest. That's how to get the Sunder and Keening, because I wanted to get a full set of Dwarven armor, like, right away, so I could go get the, lexicon buff real fast for the smithing glitch, of course. And in order to start the quest naturally, I mean, with Xemnas, I was funnily enough, I just kind of ran across it and was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I just found it. Like, I found one of the carts here, and I looted it, and then it started the quest. But in order to, like, just to actually start it, you have to go read a book inside of Windhelm, and then that's where you'll find this, which yet again, like the other quests I just did, it basically consisted of me exiting the city and running in a beeline straight to where it was. So I wasn't going to leave that in because I didn't come across anything. I just, like, ran from point A to point B. And now at this point, yet again, another beeline, it led me into that one that's, like, right outside Whiterun. I did come across these frostbite spiders, though, which they're honestly pretty tough. So I'm glad I didn't die here. Otherwise, that would have been a pain. But we pulled through, and like I said, luckily it's not like a Xemnas thing where I ended up staying on Legendary, dying like 10 times. But I also, yet again, wanted to try and see if I could get some more experience. Killed a group of bandits here at the it's some place where you get the Jagged Crown for the Civil War quest line, but I came across it, and I decided to kill those bandits. But eventually I made it to the Whiterun carriage that was, destroyed or whatever, and I then had to go back to Whiterun and actually end up going into the Hall of the Dead to read the note that was for, the quest. I was tempted there to actually use the Ancient Nord Mace, which I actually did find out was added by the Fishing Lure questline for some reason, because I found that out in another video that I was reading about or watching about it, and yeah, that was added by the Fishing Lure stuff, the fishing place, line and lure, whatever it's called. I did not know that, but for some reason you can fish that stuff up. I find that pretty funny. Which, honestly, I kind of want to have a specific character where I actually go test that stuff out, but I don't know if I'll do it anytime soon. Maybe later, whenever this character is, like, actually settled and I do some stuff, because I also lost a little bit of footage, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. As you can see here, I had to travel to Falkreath, where I did sleep in an inn. I didn't have to. I just decided to, because there's another lost cart that was here that had this little, like, cube thing that I had to use. So then the quest sends me all the way over to the other side of the map at Winterhold to go to the Sightless Pit or Cave or something. So I took a carriage out to Winterhold, and I was like, oh great, well that's more running. I came across these 2 ice wolves, though. No, I came across 3 ice wolves, believe it or not. It was like those were the only enemies I fought. I ran across the road, fought one, ran up this hill, fought another one, and then a little bit further down the line, I fought this final one. And it's like, man, it's so, I don't know, like, the game was just spawning them. It was like, oh, here you go, fight these things. What about frost trolls or snow bears or whatever? Like, there's just the one, like, few, and the thing is, it's just like one wolf. It's not like 2 or 3 that usually spawn. It's just like the one, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's weird, but oh well. Anyways, I think I wanted to say something else about the actual character. Like, the build consists of using destruction magic and no restoration, because I completely forgot. Like, I wanted to use restoration at first, but then I figured that the destruction magic actually does have strangulation, or, an absorb health type of thing, so I could actually use that to my advantage to level up my destruction more instead of like, you know, lowering it, or instead of like having to focus between two things. So I actually, you know, I figured that was actually a pretty good thing. I keep saying actually a lot, like I keep using the same words. Seriously, and like I keep saying like so many times, I swear to God. I need to get a better dictionary, honestly. And yes, I am just reading off a dictionary over here, just, you know, opening pages, flipping, going, oh, this word sounds pretty good, a corundum. No, I'm just kidding. I do not have a dictionary. I don't even own a dictionary. Anyways, more about the actual build of the character. So yeah, if any of you wanted to like recreate it, all you have to do is, like, if you, for 1-to-1 though, if you wanted to just get the magic sort of I don't know, you'll see it, the Creation Club image shows like these new robes and these new, like, it's basically just adds more spells, all in all, more inclusive spells. And I think that's what they're trying to do, is just make the magic a bit more worth using. Like, as you can see with Strangulation, it's really good. Like, I think it's better than most restoration, like early game restoration, what do you call it, early game restoration spells. I was gonna try and think of something else, but yeah. Anyways, just get that one, and then I'm still yet to actually see any other spells, so if I came across better ones, you'll probably see it in the later videos, because this is me kind of just, this is early setup for the build, like, literally. I don't have any other unique things for this character yet. Like, I don't know all the spells or anything that would go with it, so I'm gonna kind of test that out as I go. But besides that, just destruction magic so far, and then anything else if you wanted to recreate this character. I do plan on using the Dwarven Home Creation Club that came out with the Anniversary Edition, I think, because I don't remember there being a Dwarven Home before that. There is one for it, and I think that's what I'm going to do in the next few videos, because the next video I plan on doing is actually going through the Forgotten Seasons Creation Club. So, you know, just because that's a whole Dwemer thing, and I'm, like, by the end of this video, I'm already there, so I figured that was a good spot to leave off. But besides that, you can also get the Dwarven, like, plate armor, the new Dwarven set of armor. I mean, you could even make this character use a light armor set, if you, if you really wanted to, but you don't necessarily have to, because it's probably not worth doing, just for the simple fact that you know, it's a heavy armor type character. Like, she's more battle prone instead of like a sneaky archer, which I am actually going to use archery for this character, but I think I'm just going to use the Dwarven Black Bow of Fate, because her whole thing is also collecting a lot of very rare, obscure Dwemer equipment, and something that basically can't really be smithed. So it'd make a lot more sense for her to have, you know, like the Dwarven Black Bow of Fate. Plus, that's probably a bit, you know, more OP. It's one of the stronger weapons in the game. Not only that, but I also really like its design, like the way it looks, and honestly, it's with the new elemental, not new, but with the, like, elemental arrows, like the magic arrows pack, there's some pretty powerful, you know, arrows there, like the Soul Stealer one, and the, like, the fire and ice ones, but the telekinesis ones too. You know, like, those are all pretty cool. I really like those. And then just the dragon bone arrows too. Those ones look really, I like the design on it, but not only that, it just looks cool. So there's that about the character, and I can't really think of anything else. And also the Forgotten Seasons one, because also for the fact that the what is it? There's the the horse too, the horse that comes with the Forgotten Seasons, and that's one other thing that I thought would be pretty cool to have for the character. So there's that. Maybe the Dwarven Mud Crab one, if you really wanted to add that. And yeah, I think that's all so far that I can really think of that would be for the character that you could use. But that's just if you want to recreate it. So anyways, continuing on to what's going on screen, I just rolled through that dungeon. I did have to lower the difficulty sometimes just because I didn't want to die repeatedly. Blah blah blah. You've probably seen all the other stuff in my Xemnas one if you had watched it. I think in my Xemnas playthrough when I did the Lost Legends, I showed a little bit more of it maybe. Although I did make the messenger look like it was a piece of crap. But, you know, that's besides the point. Now, of course, it's not actually a piece of crap. I was kind of scared for it because I didn't want to die or anything. So I was prepared for the worst, and I decided to just give it my all. And I figured maybe if I just, use my mace, and as you can see here, I actually am doing pretty well. I was kind of surprised that I wasn't actually getting hit by it, and I was I was ducking around it and just going in circles. And this is honestly one of the most powerful Dwemer enemies, I think, along with the Forager, or the what is, I forget what that other one is. It's the one that you get at the end of the Ethereum questline, the one where the Ethereum Wars questline or whatever. But finally, after all that, I actually did end up getting Wraithguard, which, I thought was pretty cool. It's honestly one of the most higher rating armors, I suppose, for gauntlets, because gauntlets usually have 16 armor rating or 20 armor rating, but this has a whole 31 armor rating. But not only that, later on I actually ended up finding out that it also gives you these passive buffs that it doesn't tell you about. It gives you stamina regen, health regen, magicka regen, magic and damage resistance. Not only that, but also making Sunder more powerful, and if you wield it with Sunder, it buffs up itself even more. So I really can't wait to see what happens when I use Keening with it. That's also, something I'm looking forward to. But now, this whole next section is basically consisting of me trying to buff up my magic, level it up really quickly. Because what I did here was I went to Redwater Den, because that's one of the only few known places to actually find the telekinesis spell. What's so useful about it is the fact that it levels up your alteration really fast, and the reason why I'm even using alteration in the first place is because I figured even with Dwarven armor legendaried with max enchantments that you can possibly have with the best ones, it's not that good, honestly. You could hardly make it up to the base level of Daedric or even Dragonbone or anything. But with this new, with this alteration spells, with Oakflesh and whatnot, I figured, hey, maybe with alteration it'd give me some magic resistance and stuff. And as you can see here, I did end up getting 100 in alteration very easily. All I had to do was just sleep next to a bedroll. I went out near the stones, the standing stones, and I stood there. I went down to the fishing place. I don't know why I went there specifically, but I should have probably done it inside of a tavern in Whiterun and just slept in the bed, so that way I got the extra well-rested bonus instead of just a rested bonus. But, I got to 100 pretty easily. Besides that, I then went to try and do destruction. I stood there for maybe a good hour, and I was trying to do the whole destruction and conjuration mix. I was there's a way to level it up where you summon something and then you use destruction to kill it, and it will level up your destruction. I tried many different things, but for some reason nothing was working. So I figured, whatever, fine. I'm just gonna go get the Dwemer armor so I can go get that lexicon done. You know, the quest for the helmet and whatnot. Or not helmet, but, you know, so I can get the Dwemer buff. Which, believe it or not, getting the helmet was... Or no, getting the lexicon thing... Wait, hold on. What was I gonna say? Oh, wait, yeah. What I was gonna say was... I actually lost my footage for starting the quest and about halfway through the quest. I don't know why. Because... Oh, yeah, I also got the Dwarven mud crab here. Don't know why. I was, you know... I figured, oh, it's just a Dwarven little pet, and, you know, I figured it fits the whole theme. It's Dwarven mud crab. Why not? But okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. I'll show it when I get on to the, you know, next part. But I also knew that while I was here in these Dwemer dungeons, I should pick up Dwemer cogs, because later on in the Ariel Gain questline, he's gonna need, like, some Dwemer cogs and stuff. Because other than that, you know, I that's why I would stop and pick things up, and I figured, you know, I'm gonna be doing that. That's actually a next questline thing I'm gonna do, like, right away, just so I can get keening, because I don't want to, like, oh, you know, I'll go do all these other ones, like the companions questline and, like, you know, the main questline, until I'm like, oh, you know, a decent level, and then I'll go do it. Like, I want to get keening as soon as possible, so don't worry. I'm gonna complete the, you know, Forgotten Seasons thing first, because there's also, I think, a buff in that too that can be very useful for the character. But, you know, besides that, I kind of made through this dungeon pretty easily to get to the helmet that I needed, which I know it's pretty funny because I came all the way out to Markarth, went through this whole dungeon to try and find the helmet, which honestly I completely forgot where it was in the first place, because after killing this, you know, spider, Nimby, I forgot, it's like Nimba, it's something weird, but right here, for some reason I stopped recording, and then I was just doing my own thing. I went and got the helmet and everything, and then I showed up right before I went into this room, and I was like, wait, am I recording? So I started it, and I started recording, and then it just popped up the thing in the corner that I then started recording. I was like, are you kidding me? Although it's luckily I didn't save any of that stuff, or I didn't leave a lot of, well, no, it's because my PlayStation yet again glitched, and it said that I didn't have enough space to keep recording or even save my data, so I had to go back, and so I don't know if that's why I lost it, or if I was literally just being stupid, but I could have swore I remember making sure I, you know, started the recording. Anyways, that explains that. That's the next biggest thing I was going to do, because of the fact that I was just being stupid. I don't know how, I don't know why, but man, it really sucks when that happens. Although, I guess nothing really interesting happened. I just went from getting the helmet, going out to Riften, and then talking to the lady, you know, the Argonian lady, and then going back and doing that whole quest, and I went through the whole dungeon, and I did pick up a lot of Dwemer cogs, luckily, but, you know. Anyways, I headed from Whiterun, because I was just going to do the smithing thing there, where I just kept buying iron ore and leather strips, and just keep doing that over and over. But then I remembered with the Zemnis, I was trying to do the same thing, although it was for enchanting. Because what I did was I'd craft a bunch of iron daggers, or buy a bunch of iron daggers, or some stuff that I could enchant, and then I ended up actually getting, like, 100 enchanting eventually. You know, it worked out for me. But I didn't end up getting 100 smithing or enchanting, because for some reason it was taking a bit longer to level up than I last thought, even with, like, the well-rested buff and the smithing, like, increase. Maybe it's just because I wasn't, I don't know what it was. I think something's up with the helmet that I have. Oh yeah, I did find Troll's Bane, which I picked up and I was going to disenchant. I decided to leave that in and show it because I had actually never came across Troll's Bane on my own in Skyrim. Like, I saw videos on it and everything, but I never went out of my way to go find it. But anyways, I went on to go to here, of course, but like I was saying about the smithing and stuff, I think I'm gonna have to do that again on my own time sometime, because if I ever really needed it. I did get up to Dwarven smithing at least so I could try and level up my stuff, but it would have taken way too long for me to get through all the smithing stuff, and I was pretty low on gold as it was to buy the things for smithing. And of course, I could have just waited for the iron ore to regenerate back in the caves, like, that happens in real life. You pick something up that's a natural resource, and later on, oh no, it'll just come back. And so, but it was taking me too long, so I figured, oh, whatever, I'll just go on with my day. And so I ran from Windhelm or Markarth, I forget. I think it was from Markarth, because the runoff caves, which is where this is all the way on the side of a mountain that's over there. So yeah, I just ran there, and I cut a lot of this out because at this point, while I was editing, I was like, man, this is so long, I don't care, I want to get to the point. So, and a lot of it was me running around back and forth. I was having trouble finding out where I was going, but eventually I made it to here. I made it. Eventually, I did. I ended up coming across it, finally, after running around for so long, apparently. And then I came into the opening, and I'd never noticed before, but that mage guy actually did get shocked by a bolt of lightning. I found that kind of funny, but finally I could pick up the Dwarven crown. Or the Dwemer crown or something. Which at first when I looked at it, it looked kind of awkward, but now that I see it on this character with a full set of Dwarven armor, it looks really cool. It looks really sick. I like it. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all liked it, and I hope you can continue to watch later on the series, because I'm going to be doing a full, and I'm talking like completely full, Skyrim AE playthrough, as in doing everything with this character that I can possibly do. So I hope you can I hope you can subscribe, and I hope you can tune in next time when I go to continue from this point on. Oh, make sure you subscribe, and share with your friends or something, I don't know. Thank you all for watching this far. Leave a comment on any of your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.